it's Michelle from the Scattered Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. Today is Killikit Sunday and I'm working some more with my Simple Stories Cozy Days collection that I put together. I'm going to be scrapbooking this photo of my husband and my younger daughter at Thanksgiving last year. So let's get started. For those of you who don't like longer videos, I apologize in advance. I did try to make this one as short as possible, but I struggled so much with this layout. So if you want to just skip to the end to see how it turned out, then go right ahead. You won't hurt my feelings. But for those who stick around, I'm going to show a little bit of my initial process. So here I'm using this one particular page. I love both sides of this paper. So I'm planning on using both sides of the paper in this layout. And I have this little strip up at the top from a paper pad from that blue paper that I had used previously. And then this wood grain paper here. And I'm going to use this little scallop punch here to make me a little border. So I have my big floral piece cut out and the plaid piece cut out, and I'm going to use this wood grain to go in between the two. And up at the top, I'm not worried about that little hole there. Initially, I think I'm going to cover it up. But that doesn't quite happen. So I had an idea of where I wanted this layout to go in my head, and it did not want to go that way at all. It had its own idea of where it wanted to go. So I struggled with it for a little while. But here I'm trimming down my photo, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to keep those little crackers that were in the bottom right corner, but I decided I didn't need those. I'm focused on my husband and my daughter. So other pictures and other stories can talk about the little crackers, little poppers that my aunts had made. This is about my husband and my daughter, and this sweet picture that I got of them. I just love it. So I am matting my picture on some white cardstock, and then I'm going to go ahead and commit to everything. I like where my papers are, so I'm just going to glue them down, and I'm going to use my mat here to kind of help me make sure they're even and not too slanted. I oftentimes end up having my papers going downhill. So I like to use my mat to help me keep things straight. And here I fight with my ATG tape, and I have to take some of it off. For some reason, I don't know if it's because it's maybe a little too cold in my room. I'm upstairs and it's kind of cold up here. So it likes to stay stuck to the backing instead of going on my paper. And so here I'm getting out some things, and I'm thinking I want to use one of these tags as a title base, and I already know that I want my title to be the word love that's on this thicker sheet. And I pick out this tag here because of that really beautiful orangey red that is on the top of it that matches those little pops of orange flowers that's in the flower paper. And I'm going to pop my picture up on some foam. I like this foam. It's thin, so it doesn't give like a huge amount of dimension, but it just pops it up enough to give it some interest. So I'm going to put this word onto my title, or onto my tag. And at first I'm like, oh, it takes up almost the whole tag. So I do angle it a little bit, and I go ahead and punch a hole in my tab because I know I'm going to want to put some ribbon or some twine there. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm not really liking exactly how this goes, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to keep going. And y'all, I do. I struggled so hard. I tried so hard. And I cut out quite a bit of it because it was just, uh, sometimes you just have those layouts that you struggle with, but you keep going and eventually you get there. So here I'm just going through my die cuts and I pick out some of these flowers that I'm going to fussy cut out, and I'm going to get some more from the scrap piece of paper that those came from. And I'm going to cut out a bunch of the flowers because I'm thinking I'm going to do a lot of my clusters with these flowers. And then I also picked out this little flower pot with the little bouquet in it, and this little mug that says warm heart, and then a couple of little other things. And I have my sticker sheet here because I'm thinking I'm going to use some of those things. And here I'm just fussy cutting these, but there, I wasn't going to bore you with all of that fussy cutting. Now I'm pulling these out because I have been dying to use these on a layout, and they don't make it on this one. I'm gonna have to make a layout, design a layout or something specifically for those really pretty leafy outline things because I just love them. Okay, so I trimmed up that border up there because I didn't want it to go all the way across, and I've put this tab or this label on top of it. I hate it. Don't like it. It's gonna go away. There we go, finally. Okay. So I think, okay, I'll use some of these florals to make a little cluster to cover up that hole. But I don't like it because it is blending in too much with the florals, because these are florals from that same paper that I had fussy cut. So I'm still working, I'm still thinking, and I'm still trying, and I am not liking how any of this works. These, I don't even know what you call them. They're not really wood veneer. They're more like chipboard maybe, but I think they're supposed to be like wood veneer. I don't know. I love them. They're beautiful. They're not going on this layout because I just could not make them work. Although that flower in the bottom right-hand corner is really cute there, but I could not get this to work. I didn't like how the tag stuck out from the side of the picture. It's just not working out how like I had it in my head at all. So the struggle is real. I like that leaf in that bottom right cluster too. The flower or that leaf really would have worked there, but the cluster all on itself doesn't work. So I'm going to get rid of all of this and just go right to how I have it now. So since I was having such a hard time, I decided to fall back on a go-to design for me. When I have a single picture, I like to put it in the center, and then I build a cluster along the horizontal on either side. And there was a lady who had posted a layout that she had done doing just this, oh, probably 2 years ago, and I have absolutely loved it ever since. And if I can find her name, I will put it down below to give her credit for this design. Now, this was a little bit different because usually you just have two pieces of paper instead of that fill up the whole 12 by 12 page. You don't have this white border up at the top and at the bottom. So it is a little bit different, but the whole idea of having your picture in the middle and then building big clusters on either side comes from her, and I have loved it and have used it many times ever since. So this one needed to be like that too. My husband and my daughter needed to be front and center. So there they are. And I'm just using a bunch of different die cuts and stickers. And I have decided against using the title Love. So now I'm going to see if this grateful heart will work. And what I like about this is that I can put grateful on top and heart on the bottom. And grateful and would have worked there, but I like this better because the title is on the pattern paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put down my little blue top up here, and I went ahead and cut it. It wasn't exactly how I had planned on covering up the hole that was in it, but this works too. And you don't really see the seam. You got to look really close and be real nitpicky just to see that seam where I had cut it. But I really like that little pop of blue to help bring that up. And then now I'm just going to commit to everything because I feel much better about how things are going. So I'm going to put my picture down in the middle. And then I'm going to have to shift it around because now I think, oh, now I have it in the wrong place. But really, I should have just left it right there. It was fine. And I move it over a little bit, and I'm like, oh, no, that's too far to the right. So then I have to put it back. Oh, my goodness. Oh, watching this back is so funny to me. I can laugh at it now. I was not laughing earlier. I was like, actually kind of a little bit upset because I'm like, oh, here I'm needing to make this for my Killer Kit Sunday, and it's not going how I want it to, and I'm just gonna have to chuck it and try something different, and I'm not gonna have a video up on time. I was a mess, guys. I was a mess. But here I'm just popping a few of these little icons up on some foam so that I have a bit of dimension and a little play with all of the things that I have on here. And I'm going to use this little date tab. It just has date on it. I have it in green and then this one kind of in that mustardy yellow. And I've put the green one up a little too high, so I'm going to have to go back and move it down a little bit. And I'm going to pop my little floral arrangement up. And here I've put it over. Well, it's fine, but I should have put this little tea kettle. It's so cute. I should have put it down first and then put my flower arrangement on top because now I have this weird triangular gap. And I'm like, oh no, how am I going to fill this in or cover it up? So I tried this heart, I tried this word cozy, and nope. I thought, okay, I'm just going to pick this up and move the tea kettle over because I cannot have that weird triangular gap. And so now, instead of that big one, I have a teeny tiny one, and so it's not as noticeable, and I don't care anymore. So I'm looking at it, and yep, that looks good, but then I notice my little journal spot is too high, so I have to take all of this apart again so I can bring it back down, and I get that in the position that I want, and that looks good. And then I'm going to put my title up on the top, and these things are just really stuck onto the backing paper. If only they would stick like that to the layout. So you don't have to go back and put a little extra glue on them. So I was about to put heart down when I realized I have this circle with the Hey Pumpkin on the right hand side. So I figured I need a circle on the left hand side to balance that out. So I get this one that says cozy. And of course, my daughter is very cozy, laying there on her dad, all snuggled up. And now I can put heart down. And it actually came up pretty good, except for right here, I struggled a little bit. And then I can put this down and set it there. and that's good. And I have to make sure everything is on there, and I keep picking it up and looking at it, and it's almost there, but I'm still not quite, it's not quite there yet. So I'm like, what is going on? Why does this not look right? And I'm thinking while I'm putting these enamel dots on, I think what it is that I prefer using pattern paper for my background. So having this white cardstock, just it's almost like it goes out into nothing. And I think that's really bothering me. So I am, or I've got to figure out, how do I rein this in? And I could have done like a doodly border or something, but I decided to do something else after I finished figuring out where to put these enamel dots. Don't know why that was such a struggle. Oh my, where did my hands go? They kind of disappeared there. So I'm thinking, what is going on? And so I think, okay, I'll look and see, does it need a border? And yes, it does. I like that, but not that color. So I go looking for something else. And I really like this orange that's in the little flowers that's in the paper. So I'm going to play off that and use this little dot paper from this paper pad. And I'm going to trim that as 12 by 12, and then I'm going to trim an eighth of an inch, I think, either an eighth or a quarter of an inch, can't remember now, off of this layout all the way around. But before I do that, I'm thinking, oh, I'll just do this little peekaboo little spot here. So I tear up my paper, and I'm thinking, I'll just do that, and that'll be cute. But then I'm like, no, I still have that feeling of things falling off the top, or floating off the top, or falling down off the bottom. So, that's where I shifted. I'm like, no, I definitely need to have it bordered all the way around. So I'm just going to trim it up and get that put down and see how that goes. And yep, I definitely like this a whole lot better. And now it's starting to feel like it's going to be finished, and it's going to be the way it's supposed to be. So I go ahead and get my ATG on the back and get that situated. And I didn't struggle too hard getting that down this time. So I just put that down, and I'm going to put this little hedgehog on some foam to have it sitting up. And this little hedgehog, it's so adorable. These little flowers behind its ear. I just love the little animals in this collection. They are so cute. But I'm going to go ahead and glue these flaps down so that I don't have the pressure of them wanting to pop back up underneath my little hedgehog and pushing it off. So I'm going to put that down, and then it needs some decoration with it. So I'm like, what am I going to do along with this little hedgehog? So I think I'm going to use this word cozy, and I like the little heart there, but I didn't like the cozy there. So I'm going to go to these little foam stickers, and I like this pink heart, and then I'm thinking, oh, I need just another pop of orange. So I'm going to use this little flower here, but I'm like, nope, it's too small. So then I use this one, and it balances out with the hedgehog better. So that is all I'm going to do for that. And then I'm like, I need splatters. I need some little splattery bits. So I'm going to get my little Echo Park box, and I'm going to use this, I think it's Tattered Angels is the name of it. And it's a pink to go with my pink flowers. And I'm being brave here, guys. I had not covered my picture. Actually, I forgot. I forgot to cover my picture. So I'm thankful I didn't get a bunch of splatters on it. And that is actually going to do for my layout. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, or a like or whatever you do on YouTube. Please comment down below, and please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.